Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm back to do another movie review with my special guest, Ben Metcalf. Be sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel, 3 Minute Horror Reviews. He's got a lot of great reviews on there, and he knows a lot about horror, so he's the perfect guy to have to talk about the Friday the 13th series, which we are continuing today with Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Hmm.
This is a polarizing one, and I have a feeling that me and Ben perhaps won't agree on this, but
Okay,
we'll see. So, what do you think of this one,
we
Ben?
shall see. Well, I thought that they really increased the scope of this one in the respect that previously we've seen summer camps and we've seen a small town and Jason terrorizing these places. But now Camp Crystal Lake apparently is big enough to have yachts on it and entire cruise boats on it. Crystal Lake is that big. Um,
And it
so the
also,
scale of
uh, and also Crystal Lake.
yeah.
Somehow, you could take a boat from there to New York City.
Yeah, it's connected to the ocean somehow, which is pretty wild, and it didn't take all that long to get there. So, yeah, I thought it was very interesting. I think this is goopy Jason era. Jason Voorhees spends the entire movie covered in goop. He doesn't ever dry out from being underneath the lake. For the entire movie, he's got like he's wet. He's wet Jason. I
Oh,
thought it was interesting. I had definitely not seen it since the 80s, this one. There were a couple of things that I remembered, and there was a lot that I didn't remember. But it was interesting to see Kelly Hu on when she was a teenager, I guess, in this movie.
yeah,
Yeah, what did you think?
I really like it. I love it. I think it's
Yeah.
awesome. I A lot of people hate it. I don't get why. There's a lot of people that think it's the worst in the
Oh,
series,
okay.
which I don't get. It's like if you like these movies, I don't
Yeah.
get like why this one would be considerably worse. Like there's
Hmm.
a lot of really dumb things in it that don't make sense, but
Yeah.
who cares? Like it's so fun. And obviously it's called Jason Takes Manhattan. It was supposed
Yeah.
to take place largely in New York, but they had their
Yeah.
budget slashed.
Hmm.
So really only the end takes place in New York, and even then it was mostly filmed in Vancouver. So there's
Oh,
only
was
like
it? I didn't know that.
one scene where he's in like Times Square.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that was New York and them seeing the Statue of Liberty. Most of the movie takes place on a boat that's going there, and it makes no sense. Like, what? Since when does a group of graduating high school students for graduation take a boat trip to New York as
Yeah.
their graduating class? Like, none of it makes sense. Like, they could have just come up with something better, but whatever. Most of it takes place on a boat. Jason starts killing everyone. A few survivors manage to take a raft into New York in the middle of the night, and they run into sketchy drug addicts and everything.
Yeah.
And Jason kills a bunch more in New York, and he kills a bunch of other people. And the whole thing ends in a sewer.
Yeah.
And Jason, in this one, comes back. The second time he comes back through electricity. There's a young couple that are getting it on in a boat that's like
Yep.
anchored to the dock, and um, somehow the anchor touches Jason, and then
Oh, it
lightning
hits a
hits
power
it.
line.
It
So
hits a
the anchor
power line.
wrenches a power line free and it shoots
Right,
electricity through Jason.
right. And he's back again, and it's like, okay, I guess that makes enough sense.
Yeah.
And again, we have another secondary bad guy in this one that we
Yeah.
had in the last two, where it's the main girl's asshole uncle, who's
Oh, he's
also
the
a
worst.
teacher. And he's just a total bastard.
Yeah. This guy sucks. But yeah, so for whatever reason, at the end of this movie or at the end of the last movie, Jason Voorhees was buried underneath, assuming underneath Tina's dock. In this one, he's buried underneath the dock at Camp Crystal Lake, which is weird because how did he get over there? Unless Tina lived at Camp Crystal Lake, but I don't think she did. But we're into the era now of not worrying about what happened in the movie before because forget all that stuff. This is just focus on what's happening now, guys. We're into
I
that
always
era.
figured it was like Tina's house in the last movie was on the same lake. It was
Yeah,
just at a different part.
yeah.
So I guess Jason's body could have just drifted over to some
I
other
guess it
place.
could. If now that we know that it's connected to the ocean, it probably does have some sort of drift. There probably is some sort of current in Crystal Lake.
Yeah, there you go. It all makes sense.
It all makes sense in the end. Um, for whatever reason, we have another psychic character in this one as well. She's got some sort of a psychic link to Jason Voorhees because she almost drowned when she was a kid. And the she believes that maybe it's true that baby Jason was in the lake pulling her down, but it kind of craps on its own canon at this point in time. Because now we're led to believe that he was actually in the woods this whole time, not under the water. So,
See, I didn't see that as a psychic link. I saw that as just like she was so traumatized that she's
yeah.
having these like hallucinations of Jason. And I don't think that was really him. I think she just imagined it because
Okay.
as we see, her asshole uncle
Yeah.
was when she was a little kid was
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
teach her to swim, and he's like, "You better swim good, or the little boy Jason who's in the lake is gonna pull you down." And then he shoves her into the water, and she
Yeah.
sinks, and Jason grabs her. So I always thought that it wasn't really happening; it was just her scared of that happening, and she's been hallucinating about it ever since. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and she's still hallucinating about it because she sees him in the mirror, and she sees him all over the place, this baby Jason character. And she, yeah, when she faces off with him too, doesn't she call him, doesn't she see him as baby Jason when she sees him too? A couple of times, I think.
Yeah, I think when they're like
Yeah.
driving the car or something, yeah, she hallucinates him as baby Jason. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's
what did you
interesting.
think about the kill? What did you think of the kills in this movie?
The ones that we saw I thought were really cool. A lot of them did happen off shot. So like you'd see Jason do this with something and then it move to a different shot. So you knew that he killed the person, but you didn't see anything. There was a lot of that in this movie. A lot. I'd say that more characters you don't see get way more characters you don't see get killed than you do. But the ones that you did see, I thought were pretty cool. The very iconic one is in this one where he punches the one guy's head right off and it lands in a garbage can. That's funny. That made me
Yeah,
laugh.
that's
I was on
probably
the subway
that's
when I watched it.
best one in this movie, and
Yeah,
probably in my top, definitely my top five of the series.
yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I thought that the characters were interesting in this one. They tried to go with more of a generic group of the same of the one note characters. We had the rocker, the film nerd, the bad rich girl, the good girl who hangs out with the bad rich girl. Um, we had the jock, and then we also had the main girl and the boat captain's son, and those were the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny the guy who gets his head punched off.
Yeah,
I was reading about him. Apparently, he was like 31 or 32 when they made this movie, and he was playing a high schooler.
he seemed
And
old.
the blonde girl, like the one
Yeah,
that tries to seduce the professor, she was
yeah.
36 when they
Oh,
made this
wow.
movie.
Well, when she did her hair all up and everything, I'm like, she looks like someone's mom. That's what I thought
Yeah,
when
she
she was
probably
trying to
was.
seduce a guy. Yeah,
She probably had teenage kids herself.
yeah, exactly. I did really like the fact that they expanded the view of this movie. I didn't know that it was mostly in Vancouver. That's pretty cool. I had no idea, but I did like the expansion in scope. I thought it made sense. I
Yeah,
didn't One thing I didn't, one thing I thought was very silly at the end. Spoilers for this movie, because these are all spoilery reviews. These deep dives that we're doing. They defeat Jason with toxic waste because apparently people in everywhere else in America think that it's a New York City thing that they flush the sewers out with toxic waste every night.
yeah,
Like,
that makes no
okay,
sense.
time for the toxic waste dump that we do every night in New York City because that's what we do in New York. And so they flush the sewers with toxic waste, and that's what kills Jason. And it's so silly to think that people just accepted that, oh yeah, that happens in New York.
And no, I don't know if they really kill him, but the toxic waste washes Jason away,
Yeah,
and then when it's gone, what's left is supposedly young boy Jason
which is
laying there
weird.
on the ground,
Yeah,
which is the stupidest thing ever. And the
yeah.
best explanation I have for that is one that one of my friends came up with in high school. We were discussing this movie, and people were saying how stupid that ending is, and then this one friend, they're like if Jason's really dead, and that it's like who's that boy, and he's like, oh, is this some other boy that happened to be in the sewer? It's like, okay. honestly, that is a more plausible reason explanation than the fact that he got washed with toxic waste and somehow de-aged by 30 years.
Yeah. He
I
got all the scar tissue from being killed 1,000 times.
yeah.
Just got eaten away, and he's just a little boy underneath. It would have been a more plausible explanation to plausible end for the movie for the Ninja Turtles to kick his ass.
Yeah, just yeah, I like this movie, but that ending part right at the very end is
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it ruins it, but it's just dumb.
yeah,
And we also have in this one the second time where the movie ends with a beloved dog who we thought was dead
yeah,
comes back. The main love interest and the main girl walk away, and then they turn around. There's something coming up behind them, and they think, "Oh no, it's Jason." They turn
yeah,
around. No, it's the dog.
yeah. I thought it was going to be him too, and I was on the subway when I watched it this part too. But apparently, this is where the whole Kane Hodder says that Jason doesn't hurt animals thing came up. At one point in time, Jason Voorhees is walking down the street forcefully as he does, and he comes across a group of 80s or what conservative of America thought that New York punks looked like in the 80s. Guys with spiky hair and rings in their noses and stuff like that, listening to a boombox on the street. And that boombox, and Jason kicks the boombox and smashes it to bits. Apparently, that was supposed to be a dog, but Kane Hodder refused to do it.
And I think that was
Mhm.
a good choice
Yeah.
because Jason's always been you almost kind of cheer for him. Whereas if he was like abusing animals, all of a sudden, like I think it would be hard for him to be the lovable character he is, even though he's murdering people.
hmm
But for some reason, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like kicking a dog it would just make him that much worse.
I think that at some point in time, now that we've had a good long while without a Friday the 13th movie, a good way to bring the series back up, and I'm saying this now, so nobody steal my idea. To make a movie that focuses on a support group of all the final girls from all the other movies,
Yeah,
where they get together, and then somebody, and then maybe one of them is bad. One of them starts killing off the others.
I might have to steal your idea because we
Go
discussed
for it.
that for grotesque because we are
Yeah,
talking about like some people Mildred doesn't kill, like she just
yeah,
rips their eyes out, or so it's like,
yeah.
what if all those people banded together to get revenge?
You can steal my
Um,
idea. That's okay.
okay,
Just not
all
some
right.
rando out there. Not not that guy whose movies I've been covering a lot, whose name I'm not going to say.
So what would you rate this movie overall?
I rated this one a 6. I don't think it's a bad movie. I liked it. It's not my favorite in the series, and I don't think I can give it a 7. Like it wasn't. I think the psychic movie before, the New Blood, that's what the 7 was called, right? Yeah. I think a New Blood was better than this one. It was still good. It's not definitely it's definitely not my least favorite in this series. So,
Yeah, I would think I would give it the same.
yeah.
Cool. All right, so
Yeah.
next time we're getting on the Jason Goes to Hell. It's going to be an interesting one to talk about.
Oh boy.
So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.